Hello, friends. I'm so glad you could join me today. I am documenting my journey on becoming debt free again, so welcome to Second Chance Budgeting. I'll be exploring cash stuffing and unstuffing, finding ways to increase my income, and saving towards some big goals, all while digging myself out of debt once again. I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. I would love to have you join me during my adventures. Today, I'm going to be doing my end of the month things that I do. This is going to be for September. First we have to unstuff a few categories and pay myself back, either for something I've already spent throughout the month or to pay off my credit cards in full. And then the other thing we're going to do is that we're going to count all my sinking funds up and see if I have been making progress in those sinking funds or if I need to pull back on spending a little bit. So the first thing, like I said, we're going to do is unstuff for this month. And it looks like between all my categories, I need to unstuff about 474, 475, 76, somewhere in there. So we're going to start off with my expense categories. And then I also have $40 and change over here just in case I need it. So, all right. So in my food category, I need to unstuff 161. So 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 80. And of course, I'm going to have to make some change here. So I need to get 19 and changed back. And then lately what I've been doing with anything extra is I have been putting that towards debt. So I've got 20, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, and 39 going towards debt, which is my very last loan, which is my vehicle loan. So I'm going to just set that off to the side for the moment. Okay. For gas, I need to unstuff 54. So 20, 40, 60. And that means I need 6 back in change. And then this $46, I've been putting towards my car maintenance sinking fund. So let me add that really quick. All right, and then my other category, I did pretty good on not spending. I just need to unstuff $5. So I'll take out this 10, give myself a 5 back, and then I am putting the rest of this money, this $85, into my sinking fund for any extra there. Okay, perfect. All right, and then in this binder, I also need to unstuff some money from giving. So I need to unstuff 21. So I'll do 2 tens, $1. Perfect. All right, let's get into my savings and debt binder. I think I just have one category there. I need to unstuff $20 from medical. Some more tens in there. Perfect. Okay, I think we can get into my home binder now. I need to unstuff my usual 25 from internet. Perfect. All right, for home maintenance, I have quite a bit I need to unstuff. I took a weekend and just, I don't know, I was busy repairing a lot of the little things that just kind of add up over that weekend. So I need to unstuff 140. I think I'll probably just do some of these smaller bills. Yeah, so we'll do That's 40, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Perfect. Yeah, so I'm really thankful for YouTube because I've been watching a lot of do-it-yourself kind of videos on YouTube. So that's definitely helped me. All right, and then home supplies, I just need to unstuff 16. Perfect. Nothing too major there, but. And then home decor, I'm going to unstuff 32. I bought some stuff for my kitchen. It's not really like home decor necessarily, but this is kind of where I have money. So that works perfect. So I'll do 20, 25, 30, 35. And then I'll give myself $3 back in change. So 1, 2, 3. All right. Let me just double check that that is everything that I need to do. And I'll take my $40 back in change. So let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 40. And then we'll count it up. And again, it should be around 474, 475, somewhere in there. So all right, let's check it out. So I've got 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 80, 94, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 71, 72, 73, and 74. All right, perfect. That will work. Let me just put this in back to bank really quick. That's pretty thick. I might just set it off to the side since I am going to the bank today. The other thing, let me just put this in my extra debt. All right, well, I'm going to get set up for my sinking funds update, so I'll be back in a second. All right, we're back. So for the sinking funds update, basically what I'm going to do is I am going to count everything in each sinking fund. I'm going to put the total here, and then I'm going to compare it to the beginning balance at the very beginning of the month. So I'm taking these numbers from my last August sinking funds update at the very end of the month, and that should be the beginning of September's numbers. And then I'm seeing if it grew or decreased. You know, sometimes it's kind of expected. I haven't really been keeping track. This month has flown by, and so I don't really know how this month's update's going to shake out and look like. I don't know if it grew or decreased over time, but this helps me kind of get ready for the next month. It helps me get back on track and really see what happened during the month as an overall picture. So let's get into it. So this is basically my balance at the very beginning of September, so 11,234, and we'll just see what happens. So my first sinking funds that I know hasn't really changed is 600 in my food surplus. Basically, that's 3 months worth of food, and 500 of that is in the bank, and $100 is available if I need to go to dinner or lunch or something like that. And I don't really have a fast food budget or like an eating out budget or anything like that. I'll just pull from my food surplus if I do that. So, all right, car maintenance, I started the month with $500. And now I've got 500, 20, 40, 45, and 46. So that grew by 46. Perfect. All right. Whoops. Don't throw the marker. All right. My other category, I started the month with $7.49. And let's see what we have now. So I have 500 in the bank, 600, 20, 40, 60, 87, 20, 40, 60, 88, 20, 25, 30, 31, 32, 33, and 34. So 834. Okay, so that grew by 85, which is kind of what I expected. I didn't really use very much money in that category. So, all right, giving, I started the month with 357, and now I've got 100, 200, 300, 20, 30, 40, 50, 55, 56. Okay, so 356, that means it decreased by $1. All right. So now let's get into savings and debt. And then medical, I started the month with 671, and now I've got 500 in the bank, 20, 40, 60, 86, 20, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, and 91. So 691. So overall, that increased by $20. That's getting kind of thick. All right, so emergency savings, I know nothing's changed there. I still have my $1,000 savings, and then nothing has changed in the next category either. All right, month ahead. Let's check that out. I started with 500, and yeah, I still have the same $500 placeholder. So nothing's changed there. Once I get out of debt, that's going to be where I'm focusing a lot of my energies. Is going to be on month ahead, and yeah, I'm excited for when that can happen. All right, car insurance. I started the month with 300, and now I've got 100, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, and 80. So 380. That means it grew by 80. All right, that's everything for this binder. Moving right along. So let's see. In my personal binder, I started the month with 426 in clothing, and now I've got 100, 200, 300, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 30, 35, 40, and 41. 441. Okay, so that grew by 15. In my fun category, I started the month with 361. And now I've got 100, 200, 300, 20, 40, 60, 70, 75, and 76. And that grew by 15. Perfect. And then in my travel category, I had 599, and now I've got 500, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 600, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So 614. And that is $15 growth. All right, I have not been touching my car registration sinking fund because I have kind of capped it at $225. That should be plenty to pay my next installment. So I've actually got a fully funded slip in there. So we'll just skip that one. And then holidays, I started with 182, and now I've got 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 95, 96, and 97. So 197. That is an increase of 15. And I don't remember if I did anything with hobbies. I've been kind of leaving that off to the side for a while. So let's check and see if I did anything. So looks like I still have my $70 in there. So no change on that sinking fund. All right. Well, let's get into my home binder. So for my internet utilities category, I had 11 at the beginning of the month, and now I've got 21. So that grew by 10. All right, and then maintenance, I had 305 in there, and now I've got 100, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 25. So 225. And let me just use my calculator really quick. Yeah, that decreased by 80. All right. And then home supplies, I had 157. Now I've got 100, 20, 40, 60, 70, 75, and 76. So 176. Okay, so that grew by 19 overall. And then home decor, I had 190. Now I've got 100, 20, 40, 60, 65, 66, 67, and 68. So that did go down, but let's see by how much. So that went down by 22. My garden category, I just had 14 in there. I don't think I did anything with that. So, yep, I still have my 14. And then furniture, I started the month with 236, and now I've got 100, 200, 20, 30, 35, and 36. All right, well, we are moving along. I've got one binder left, and that's my savings challenge binder. So let's give all that a quick count, and then we're ready to see if I grew or if I need to work on some things. So, all right, my first goal in this binder so I started the month with 844, and now I've got 500 in the bank, 600, 700, 20, 40, 60, 88, 20, 40, 50, 55, 56, 57, 58, and 59. So that increased by 15, but it doesn't look right. So let me just double check so we don't mess this up. Yep, I grew by 15. Perfect. My second goal, I started with 86. Now I've got 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23. So 123. Okay, and that grew by 37. All right, my third goal, I started the month with 925. Now I've got 500 in bank, 600, 700, 800, 20, 40, 60, 80, 900, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 51, 52, 53, and 54. So 954. And that grew by 29, but let me double check. Yeah. Okay. All right, my fourth goal, I started with 13, and now I've got 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, and 42. All right, that is grew by 29. My fifth goal, I just had $1 in there, so 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 41, 42, and 43. So that grew by 42. And then my last goal, I had 12 in there, and now I've got 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 31, 32, 33, and 34. So that should be 22. Yep, 22. All right, so now our next step is to add everything up here, and then I'm going to compare the two numbers and make sure that that equals the balance when I add all these numbers up. So I'm going to speed you up as normal so you don't have to wait very long. All right, so here we go. All right, well, I got 11,625. So let me subtract beginning of the month balance. So if I did everything correctly, this column should add up to a total of 391. So I'm going to just do that double check really quick. So here we go. All right, well, we did it first time around. I'm trying to be better about not making mistakes as I go along. So yes, it looks like my sinking funds did grow overall by 391. It's not a lot of progress in the month, but it's steady progress. Like I said, these past couple months have been transition months for me as I get more and more settled into my house. So hopefully at some point I won't have quite as many expenses for the house, and I can just continue to grow my sinking funds. I mean, the other big change that's going to happen in the coming months is hopefully no more of my money should be going towards debt. So once that happens, hopefully I'm able to just continually grow my sinking funds by bigger amounts every time. But I'm pretty happy with the progress I made in September. I'm happy with the growth, and I can't wait for you guys to see what I did in September as far as all my debt payments. So stay tuned for that video. But I hope you enjoyed watching this video. So please do all the things like leave me a comment or question down below and subscribe for more. Let me know how you did in September, and I will see you next one. Have a great day.